Somebody had did it another way. Um, somebody had did hearts another way. I was trying to figure out what that was. I just usually go either 2 or 1 hearts. Oh, get it together. I'm looking like, what's taking so long for the screen? What's taking so long for the screen to come on? I'm like, ma'am, get it together. Hey, we're live. Hey, Leslyn, Sophia. I got so many sound effects coming in. Gaga or Goo Goo? Beats me. Let me check the stats real quick before we get started here. Move out of the way. Not you. You. 459,707 views currently right now. 41,000 likes. Streamed an hour ago. Let's just go ahead and get started.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the players are now in place. You know who the cast of characters are. It is definitely time for us to begin pulling it all together for you on a neat timeline. Erica's missing years. Where is she? Is she in Eastern Europe? Why was she ever in Eastern Europe? Also, is it possible that Lori, her mom, was in Afghanistan?
Oh, shit. Why would she be over there?
Is Lori actually a direct descendant of Vince Lombardi? I actually think she is. Also, we've got Tyler Boyer out in Romania now too. What exactly goes on in Romania? What goes on in Eastern Europe? What is everybody doing there? We have a lot to unpack today, so let's jump right in. Welcome back to Bride of Charlie.
I was a little confused yesterday because we had this random history lesson. It was just a lot of information. And I was trying to figure out, was she spooked and nervous about what Wolves of Finance had alleged? I was just trying to figure out, like, maybe she was a little spooked and nervous about what he had alleged. I don't know. But, that brownie had to bring me something to eat. I didn't know what we was going to get into. Where are my pistachios? So we're going to get into it. That was just something that I had kind of thought about when I had logged off. I was like, I wonder was she spooked and nervous about what Wolves of Finance had said. I don't know. Oh, my goodness. Shout out to everybody who got their passports. I definitely need to go ahead and get mine. So we over here in Romania, Afghanistan. I'm going to have to get my passport at this point. Hashtag passport 2026.
We have nothing to hide.
Maybe.
We're going to have to get our passport for sure.
Okay, so we left you guys off at Tesseract, right? Erica's at Tesseract, formerly the Looking Glass School. I cannot get enough of that.
See what I mean? Did we leave off at Tesseract yesterday? There was so much going on. I completely forgot that no, that's not what we had left off at yesterday. She coming in, see, I told you she was spooked and nervous yesterday. She had to. She just came back and talking about, we left off at Tesseract yesterday. Girl, you was talking about 2016. She was alleging that she had read the Bible. Anyway, let me just let her finish, because
What goes on in Arizona? Now, at the time, of course, this was a brand new concept. Tesseract charter schools, private companies coming in to run schools better. It's going to be funded with, obviously, government budgets, but they are going to do it better and produce better results. Tesseract, we have learned, is backed financially by the Bush family, the Walton family, a model that's been designed by psychologists alongside Dr. Franz Spacestein. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Or maybe a better question is, what could possibly go right with this cast?
Something you can't live without. They go with that deer part.
Characters. Now, I had alluded to you that Dr. Jerry conducts a lot of research. They had to give her own research center, gender clinic, gender center for the Beehive, by the way, under the guise of exploring issues related to feminism and gender studies.
Caesar Milan, how to add years to your dog's life.
Catching all these.
Sardines.
That's
Bone broth. Raw eggs blended with the shells.
Jerry Franzway travels. She travels abroad a lot, in particular, she travels to Eastern Europe. She did this with a team to research gender issues in 1990. Take a look at this.
What is going on with these gender issues? This is Jerry.
Wow.
Can't
According to Franzway, the final big project of the semester, this is at Radford, will be taking a group of students to Eastern Europe. We will research the expectations of men and women as work life and day-to-day life change after the wall came down. Really?
What wall came down?
Imagine your kid goes to this school and the teacher's going, we're gonna go in 1990 to Eastern Europe after the wall came down, the fall of the Berlin Wall. You're just gonna jump right in there. Do you understand what happened after that? Chaos. That's what happened. Chaos and carnage. Again, why would you take students there to research gender issues? Do we think that gender issues are ranking high in the minds of those Eastern Europeans? Now, for clarity, as soon as the Berlin Wall fell, the intra-Eastern European wars began, right? The Yugoslav wars, bloody, brutal. That began same year, August of 1990, when Franzway is just going out there. Dr. Franzway is going out there. So I have to ask myself, what is she actually doing?
She out there.
Let me enter this into the conversation. Are you guys aware of how many children go missing during times of war? During all that chaos, how many kids are trafficked during the fog of war? Now, I know this because one of my best friends in college was Romanian. She grew up with real gypsies grabbing children off the street. She would tell me a story about how she was almost trafficked when she was a child.
Ooh,
And it makes you wonder,
that's terrifying.
where exactly, when they are taking these children, where exactly are they taking these children to? How could that go unnoticed?
Taking them too.
I still will feel this way about Dr. Franzway. I will state this unequivocally. I don't think Dr. Jerry Franzway, who is a verifiable fraud, was there in Eastern Europe researching gender issues. May she rest in peace, but that's my opinion and I'm sticking to it. I should also mention that Tesseract had a principal, she would actually climb the ladder at Tesseract while Erica was a student, who had very strong military ties. A woman named Nancy Gerard Hall, she will become. Nancy was a military brat. Her father was Colonel Paul Tracy Gerard, who was a member of the Scottish Rite. A lot of that going on, a lot of Freemasonry going on at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, out in Kansas. He was a part of the Blue Lodge, Blue Masonic Lodge in Galesburg, Illinois, as well. He was also the chief military law enforcement officer at the 7th Army in Europe. That's in Germany, Stuttgart, Germany, in the 1950s. Look, maybe he knows where Jean-Michel Trogneau went. Maybe they crossed paths. I don't know. The point is, it's not the only military tie. Nancy's brother, Paul Tracy Gerard Jr., would follow in his father's footsteps. He was a major in the military in 1977, and I'm sure.
This is the principal, right? She be going down everybody rabbit hole. Like, God. I'm like, meat and potatoes, honey. Meat and potatoes. She all over here on the principal, family tree, daddy, brother. Oh, my God.
continued climbing the ranks after that because he was also a member of a military honor society known as Scabbard and Blade. But that's not it. Also, her first husband, Stephen Edward Sample. He comes from a long line of military men himself. He was a second lieutenant.
This is supposed to be the director of the Tesseract School. Okay. All right, I'm going to let her finish.
The Air Force when they married. So that's Nancy. She's in charge of the curriculum and much more over at Tesseract. Now, I think it's fair to wonder, to speculate, whether or not she approached that job with military precision. Anyway, let's jump back into our Erica Kirk timeline so we can look at all of this cleanly. Okay, let's start at 1988. We know.
See what I mean? You just brought up, and then you go back. I'm like, these pivots. Lord, these pivots, honey, please.
Erica is born on either November 20th or November 22nd, depending on who's telling the story. Who's the clerk? We don't know. In 1990, Dr. Jerry Franzfey, and I want to mention this about Dr. Jerry Franzfey, I don't know if she is still married to Kent. Because we can't find marriage records between Lori and Kent, but we also could not locate divorce records between Dr. Jerry Franzfey and Kent. So I'm just going to put that out there. But what we do know is 1990, she's going to start conducting research in Eastern Europe. 1991, we've already shown you this. Erica will attend a private daycare that's at the Walnut Corner in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is in a corporate business building that's owned by Child Care Visions. We have that photo for you, which was taken Halloween 1991. Erica is on the brink of her third birthday. In 1994, Erica is attending St. Ursula Villa for kindergarten. That's, again, 94 to 95. In 1995, Erica is attending the Tesseract School down in Paradise Valley. That's going to be from her 1995 to 1996 school year. And her parents, Kent and Lori, allegedly get married that year in Marblehead, Massachusetts, although we cannot find a single shred of documentation that verifies that. Does it mean it doesn't exist? It just means that we haven't come across it, and neither have any of our sleuths. And our sleuths are usually pretty good at that. 96, she is still at the Tesseract School. 98, she is also at the Tesseract School.
Trying to be so many sound effects going on, I be listening. It's Madison and Madeline still up, talking.
98 to 99 school year, Erica is in the third grade. And this is when Lori and Kent will file for divorce in Cincinnati. We'll note that Kent is living already in Arizona, and Lori is listed as living in Cincinnati, at least if their divorce docs are to be believed. Now,
when does he supposed to be stay-at-home dad? When did that happen?
We should discuss 1999, okay? Because I was sort of under the impression, I had indicated to you guys that Erica might have been enrolled at St. Ursula Villa back up in Ohio from 1999 to 2002. But we stand corrected on that. That's not accurate. People who attended during those years up in Ohio at St. Ursula Villa, they emailed us, they went through their yearbooks, and they said that she is not featured in those yearbooks. So we don't have Erica from 2000 until 2002. Now, it's possible that she went to a different nearby school in Scottsdale. So I'm going to put it out again, the little APB here. If you went to school with Erica Franzfey anywhere in the United States from the years 2000 to 2002, we would like to hear from you. Okay, we'd like to hear from you. Now, what we can confirm, and this is where it gets pretty interesting, is that around this time, you will recall American men and women are being shipped out to Afghanistan. Nobody really knows why. But Operation Enduring Freedom is going to begin. Don't ask me how or why if Saudis allegedly drove planes into the World Trade Center, why are we immediately a couple of weeks later on October 7th, 2001, sending people to Afghanistan? It's very confusing. None of it makes any sense. Don't try to understand corruption. It's very dizzying. But that's what happens. Operation Enduring Freedom begins, and we should note that Erica's mother, her company, E3 Tech, is going to be used for this operation. That's according to its current website.
If you're in your 30s,
The sneeze.
this one's for you. Salon gels are so damaging, and regular nail polish chips after just a couple of days.
Okay, E3 Tech has a website, and on its website, it tells us that they participated in Operation Enduring Freedom. And not only that, because don't forget, like, Lori at some point falls and bumps her head, and she's Steve Jobs, she's Nikola Tesla, I don't know, she's just a tech genius. She is even going to eventually win an award for her contributions to Operation Enduring Freedom. Did Erica go overseas with her mother during those years? Maybe in 2001. I don't even know if Lori went overseas during those years. I'm just telling you that according to their own website, E3 Tech, they received an award for whatever they were doing for that operation. We'll leave that open-ended because we truly do not know. Okay, so let's get back into our timeline. Let's take a look at 1999. Again, we don't know where Erica is for that school year, but that's going to be the year that Lori files a lot of different companies, corporations. December 1st, 1999, with the help of Rick and Donna Erpenbeck, she forms Virtual Registration International Incorporated, again indicating that she's going to be doing some work overseas. She also forms Intelemet, Incorporated, on September 24th. Lori Franzfei also is going to form Intelemet International Incorporated of Delaware on December 2nd of that year. Okay, she's getting ready to do business. Go to the year 2000, Tesseract School goes bankrupt. Millions are apparently missing. You don't know where Erica is that year, but you can see for-profit corporate drive to run public schools. It's gone, and it just has a full-blown meltdown, and that ends that. In 2001, as I mentioned to you, we got 9/11, we have Operation Enduring Freedom, and Lori's E3 Tech company is going to be used for that operation. 2002, we have no idea which school Erica went to. We'd like to find out. In 2003, Lori Franzfei forms another Intelemet company. This one is Intelemet of Arizona, LLC. Okay. She forms that on January 9th. 2005, we've gone over this. Now we can document Erica. She is at Notre Dame. She is playing basketball. She also is in the pageant world. She wins first runner-up of the National America Miss Arizona pageant. But the most crucial part of 2005 is what Lori Franzfei is doing. Because people have pointed this out, but there is a relic that shows you that she received money from the government. iNet Laboratories. She's listed in the House bill budget. She's receiving money from the Department of Homeland Security's iNet Laboratories. Perhaps we could not find formation docs for that, but maybe we can assume that that's related to Intelemet, because she's starting all Intelemet Arizona, Intelemet. It could be that could be shortened from Intelemet Laboratories. Okay, what is she doing for them? In 2006, we know Erica's going to win the National American Miss Teen pageant. She gets that chance to travel and to meet Senator Jon Kyl. She also is going to present plans for what nobody knows to Rep. J.D. Hayworth. And she gets involved in charity, Andrea's Closet, which is going to work with the hospital in Winslow. We showed you this article. This truly is the best version we could find. I know it's very smudged, but I wanted to point out to you that somebody emailed me about this article. Erica sort of tells this story. We received an interesting email. because we showed you this article, and in this article, I'm going to read for you what it actually states. This is Erica speaking. She says, quote, "Winslow has so much character. We love stopping here." And then the writer continues, she and her family have come through Winslow many times on their way to basketball games around the state that she plays in. The email we received came from a very credible person. I will leave it at that. I'm going to protect this person's identity. They said, "That is BS. That is BS. They explained to me something I didn't know, maybe you did. But in the state of Arizona, 80% of the population lives in Maricopa County." And the person went on to say, "I'm very familiar with basketball. I can tell you that at most, because of the way that they structured doing teams and traveling teams, Erica would at most, if she played for all 4 years of high school, because Winslow is located 3 hours outside of Scottsdale, she would have only gone to Winslow 2 times. So this is just, her mother is involved in this, immediately flagging this as weird. How did she get involved with this hospital? Elsewhere, she says that she also loves to do charity work abroad. That would imply Erica has already been abroad, right? She's already been abroad. So was she with Lori? Did Lori and her travel?
They so loud. I don't know what's taking Madison and Madeline to go to sleep. Taking them so long.
To do some
You hear?
with the military, it's a fair assumption, or it's a fair question, rather. Haven't answered earlier questions, so probably no chance that they're going to give us clear answers on this either. We can jump back into our timeline to relevant portions. In 2007, we know she graduates from Notre Dame Prep. She is Miss America Teen. She begins playing basketball at Regis University. Lori's AZ Tech International Incorporated is going to be canceled for lack of a tax filing, but don't worry, she's going to bring it back soon. We can essentially now jump back into the timeline into 2008, because that's where we really left off. Erica's missing. She's locked away like Cinderella. She's reading her Bible. She's only seeing her pastor while at Regis University for that 2007.
See what I mean? Like, I knew I wasn't tripping. I told you. She was in the dingo headspace yesterday, because I'm like, man, you're all over the place. You're going to have to get this together now, for real. You're going to have to get this together. Then she jump on today talking about, okay, so where we left off at, I'm like, we didn't leave off at no damn Deseret. We had left that alone. I mean, we had swung by it, but still. Keep doing this timeline over and over and over again. It's blowing me.
8 school year, I should mention, Erica was majoring in business administration. Okay, that was her major.
Okay.
And that record, that relic of her is still available on the Regis player bio. It tells us what she was doing, majoring in business administration. Now, we can assume while she's locked away the following year, and this is a kind assumption, that she continued her studies online. But in the future, she's going to edit and say that she majored in political science from the beginning. That's not true. What we do know for certain is that it's going to take Erica 5 years to graduate college. And for some reason, in this year of 2008, Lori's going to receive a lot of money from the Army National Guard. IMET Laboratories, again, associated with Lori Frantzvey, is going, the Army National Guard, is going to have to disclose that they gave $2.4 million to IMET Laboratories.
Did you know that the Bible holds the secret to longevity? If you want to live a long, healthy life free of dementia,
take a look at that. J3, J6, that's got to do with like cyber security, cyber operations. So Erica already, her mother, who she claims raised her as a single mom. She didn't.
Right.
Unless maybe her mindset, it was the single mom because Erica was over on a base with her mother. But we now know that during this year, this crucial year where Erica is missing, her mother is going to wind up having received $2.4 million. I mean, this woman, from a model to a secretary to now she's getting all of this money with tech. It's interesting. Let's jump into 2009 because it's a most crucial year. Things are going to start to get spicy. Okay, so remember, going into this, Lori's already working with the United States military. She's receiving millions. Do not forget that. In 2009, Lori France is going to establish Everyday Heroes Like You in April. In her filing, she will claim it is a faith-based organization that is raising funds and developing programs for vulnerable children. Okay, they
Didn't she win the award for Everyday Heroes? Didn't Erica? Oh, this is my percent on 43. Didn't Erica win the Everyday Heroes award or something like that? I'm just saying. She won it because remember she was talking about, oh my goodness, it's cool stuff. She had said in the interview something about how she was just kind of, let me let her finish.
this initially on July 2nd of 2009. Okay, Lori seems a bit busy. She's already working with the government. She's maybe in Afghanistan or at least creating tech that's going to be used in Afghanistan. And now, wow, this hero is jumping in and going, I'm going to help vulnerable children. Why does that make me uncomfortable? Do I have a right to feel uncomfortable about that? Do you guys feel uncomfortable about that? Military bases and doing stuff for the military, and now like I'm gonna help kids a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. With everything I know about Lori, I don't love it. Then in October, the same year, right after she establishes this, it is announced that the Romanian government has agreed to allow America to set up a military base along the Black Sea. Now, that's the first time things are crazy. Erica is going to make the claim, by the way, on a future podcast entitled Free Thinkers Only, that shortly after they established this charity, Everyday Heroes Like You, she's going to go to China to help women who were sex trafficked. So to be clear.
I was trying to remember where I had heard that word from, Everyday Heroes. Okay, so it's the little non-profit.
She establishes this in 2009. Her mother establishes this in 2009. Where did Erica go to China? When did Erica go to China in 2009? I want you to listen to Erica in her own words. Take a listen.
I decided to create something called Everyday Heroes Like You, where we're able to, originally, it was focused on bringing funds and awareness to various grassroots organizations that were in specific communities that would be able to have volunteers that are transparent with their funds, that are actually doing what they're saying they're doing, instead of just having 70% of the funds go to admin and only 30%.
Listen to what she was saying. She was like, well, originally it was established because, we wanted to focus on organizations in the community, who say what they're going to do and do what they're going to say with the money. And then
towards the cause. So really just focusing on making sure there was a home for transparent organizations that people could learn about, get involved with. But from there,
right.
It kind of grew into something more global. I was living in China and doing a lot of work with victims from sex trafficking, and then began to phase that into working with the Marine Corps and the Army, and then was able to work with a orphanage in Romania.
Ooh, she will tell you that timeline now. You see what I mean? Like, and you can tell that she didn't really mean to say it, because you know how you get caught up in a story and then you gotta well, and you got to finish it. She said a lot there, and that's so crazy because we didn't heard that clip 3 times now. Once in the series, twice before we even started. And, she'll pick it apart every time she hear it. So, look, watch her. Look at her face.
So she's clear there.
She went to
Everyday
church.
Heroes comes first. She goes and she's working with sex trafficking victims in China. Then she gets this partnership with the
The
Marines.
Marines.
And
Look.
then she goes out and establishes the Romanian Angels Project. That's what she says then. Don't hold Erica to being consistent. You'll drive yourself crazy. But we're still in 2009. Who knows what's real with that? I wanted to play it. What we do know is that Erica shouldn't be in Colorado anymore, even by her own standards, which she says, I was there for my first 2 years of school. Well, in 2009, she should not be in Colorado anymore. And yet, she is going to compete in November for Miss Colorado 2010. So you compete in the November before, so you wear the crown for the following year. So she competes in 2009 for Miss Colorado, and she places 4th runner-up.
Okay.
How did she qualify to compete is one of my questions.
But don't you have to live there?
Now, I'll have you guys know, you'll see I added a note here that 2009, got the Romanian government agreeing to allow America to set up a military base. That's when you start to see Jeffrey Epstein beginning to procure women from Romania per his emails that are now available. He's going to instantly get his hands over into Romania. Look, he's offering, here is information for the girl from Romania who will receive $10,000. There have been headlines about how often he refers to Romania throughout his emails. There is no question. This headline reads, several Romanian women named in newly released Epstein case files. I'll add here also at the #1 university that he seems to be involved with is Arizona State University, which Erica will eventually graduate from. For the purposes of right now, just know that Jeffrey Epstein, we have emails going back to 2009, right when this base gets established, and suddenly he is interested in procuring models from Romania. Okay? Lock that into your mind because 2010 is going to get crazy. This is the year that Erica will claim that she went to Loyola Marymount in her junior year of college. So that's going to be from fall 2009, spring 2010 about. We can find her in a yearbook or graduation list. No person has come forward yet and said that they remember attending class with her, but she also could have attended classes online. I would assume, given the amount of travel that she keeps indicating, that she probably did take a lot of classes online. So just wanted to show you that this is when she is supposed to be at Loyola Marymount. On January 6th of this year, Jerry Franzfey creates an LLC called Luminarius with her daughter, the one that she had when she was 14, Deborah Himsel. She's going to follow mommy's footsteps from the very beginning, getting into psychology. It's another charter school company. Okay.
All grocery store produce have pesticides that can't be washed off, but only a few know this trick to get rid of it. So first step is add clean water, about 3/4.
Now, in my mind, when I think about charter schools, and I had received an article that was written about the corruption, particularly of charter schools in Arizona, you have to, or I
Just give me a second, because I'll be getting all caught up at. I ain't even charging my people, man. I'm like, do better. Do better. Charge me. Just give me a second. I need to charge. Before I look up and. My goodness. Okay. Alright. Let me get it situated here. I needed to take a brain break anyway. Oh my God. Whew. I was trying to figure out if I wanted some more pistachios. They have you so gassy. like that's ever a problem. Never. Let me see what her percent is on. 97%.
Myself, what are they doing with these charter schools? What would be the benefit of having these charter schools? Well, you being in charge of schools, you could create records for anybody. Actually, you would literally be able, if you wanted to, and you had some people who were maybe illegal, and you needed to get them into school pretty quickly in elementary school, it would be good to control a fleet of charter schools. I'm not saying that's the case with Luminarius Group, but I'm finding this theme to be interesting of charter schools. And again, you can look up many articles about the corruption of the particularly charter schools in Arizona, which begins with Tesseract and now it continues to move. It's an interesting story. In November of 2010, this is where we find Erica filming November Renaissance, and they eventually put up a trailer on Kickstarter. She, in particular, is working with a lot of actors, directors, people involved in this project are affiliated with Fort Huachuca and Sierra Vista. Like, that is an intel base. How did Erica get this role? How did this happen? How is she doing this in addition to her studies? Maybe that's why she takes a year longer to graduate. I'm not sure. But I'm certainly interested in the fact that this movie, which never came out, was about corporate espionage, spies going into a corporate company, working on behalf of a global government. That is a little too on the nose for me. And again, by this time, Erica already has military connections via her mother. Where is her mother based, by the way? I'm going to assume if you're doing tech and you're creating tech for the DHS, you're not just doing this from like your basement. Is that a fair assumption? I don't know. We also know that in 2010, Erica forms an LLC with her then boyfriend, Tyler Sandford. It's called Table 4 LLC. Tyler Sandford will be featured down the line as the actor in her My Kind of Crazy music video that she's going to film in 2013. I should also mention that he is a catcher for the Los Angeles Angels. Like I've said too many times, Erica is always dating people that have some level of fame, as you will see. This is the first person.
Okay.
But the end of 2007, or I should rather say this combination in 2010, pardon me, is crucial, that I'm about to explain to you. Lori suddenly reinstates, remember, AZ Tech International Incorporated first gets into a little bit of trouble because they're not filing their tax returns, but then Lori moves to reinstate that in 2010. AZ Tech International is back on the table. Well, for the first time that year, the Black Sea Rotational Force 10 goes out to Romania, and they establish the Mihail Kogolnichono, I hope I'm saying that right, Kogolnichono, probably not, air base in Romania. You can see that here. Marines, sailors of the Black Sea Rotational Force 2010 officially kicked off their 3-month engagement in the Black Sea region in a ceremony at Romania's Mihail Kogolnichono airfield on May 17th. Now, what's incredibly interesting, and we're going to get more into that in tomorrow's episode, is in particular, a lot of those people are coming from Reno, Nevada, of all places. Coming from Reno, Nevada.
Interesting.
They are there, the banner that they're using, they're allegedly there because they're going to promote regional stability. We have a way with words, I will say, in the West. Regional stability, spreading democracy. The reality is that Colonel Otto Buscher is going to be accused of running a brothel and a human trafficking ring from 2010, the very year that this was established, all the way through to 2015. Yes, Erica will come into contact with Colonel Otto Buscher. We're not going to focus on that today because the more important thing I'd like to introduce to you is Tyler Boyer. Tyler Boyer in 2010, just when this gets established, is going to make an appearance in Romania to work with the Romanian Parliament. I'm sorry, what?
Give me a second. I went to Romania to do some work with a senator in the parliament there. Hey, you don't have to. and he was friends with this guy. The senator, was friends with this guy, that owned a modeling agency and took me to the beach for 4 days and legit slept collectively like 10 hours. I was at the lake and they were there. I thought it would grab your attention. But yeah, these girls were crazy and I got completely Romanian sloshed. And it got very interesting. Ha 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 ha. Romanian women don't mess around. Who the hell is he texting on? Never mind.
He's going to stay approximately from May through to the end of the summer. This is the exact same time frame that the Black Sea Rotational Force 10 is going to be there. And here is the proof. Somebody had messaged me very early on. It was at the bottom of my inbox, and I was saying, I know that he went to Romania and was trying to figure out what he was doing. And they were like, oh, I actually talked to him about that. They were super friendly about it. Talked to him about that. And here's the conversation. Tyler writes, I went to Romania to do some work with a senator in the parliament there. And then he says, and he was friends, meaning the senator in Romania, was friends with this guy that owned a modeling agency. And took me to the beach. That's going to be in Constanta, just so you know, for 4 days and legit slept collectively like 10 hours. The person says, oh, I was at the lake and they were there. I don't know what this person's talking about. And then Tyler says, but yeah, these girls were crazy and I got completely Romanian sloshed and it got very interesting. Haha, this is the Tyler I know. Everybody knows this is who Tyler is. By the way, pretty sure Tyler was married in 2010. Check the records. I think he was married to his first wife in 2010. And also, isn't he LDS? Doesn't that mean he's not supposed to be drinking? Oh, who cares? It's all for appearances anyways. Super Christian company. Who cares what they're actually doing?
Dang. Not you married, though. Oh, my God.
Continue. Tyler says,
They had this homemade whiskey that was like, I can't explain it, but yeah. The girls were, wow. Both of them. I know a few girls from there. Homemade whiskey makes a person frisky. I think that's a song. Ha ha ha. It's probably the cause effect statement of the night. And I can drink a lot, so I don't pass out or get weird or anything. Ha. I'm the first to pass out. That's why I need to be careful. If I go, I need to have a room. I might go if I don't like what's going on.
had this homemade whiskey that was like, I can't explain it, but yeah, the girls were wow. Both of them.
If you are sleeping in a position like this, you are wrecking your body and your breathing. Chronic neck pain happens when your cervical spine...
Right.
I told you he's a sexual deviant. It's like, I mean, there's just so much out there. It's crazy. Anyways, he says, the person said, I knew a few girls from there. Homemade whiskey makes a person frisky. I think that's in a song. And Tyler responds, haha, that's probably the cause and effect statement of the night. And I can drink a lot, so I don't pass out or get weird or anything. Ha. Okay. Okay. We can come out of that.
Right.
What was he doing?
In Romania.
Who was the person in Romanian parliament that he was there to see? And what was the name of the modeling agency? I am dying to know.
Uh-oh. She's so
Because it's going to get real interesting now, right? Erica just can't remember.
how she
She can't remember how she knows him. She can't remember how she met him. It must. She said to me, maybe it was through a senator. Specifically, that's what she said to me. In person, she said it might have been through a senator. I think it could have been through a senator. I think it definitely could have been through a senator. Honestly, the vibes are vibing here. I find that you both have a little something to do with what's going on in Romania as soon as we get there. As soon as America gets there and establishes a base, which is going to become pretty much synonymous, if you speak to Romanians, with trafficking. Models in Romania? Do you know Jeffrey Epstein, Tyler? Did you guys...
Oh, Lord. If you bringing up modeling agency, oh, jeez. This is getting weird, you guys. That I can say. This is getting weird. That's all I can say. Because you can't remember how you met Tyler Boyer. You can't remember if Andrew Kovac's wife was on the plane when you touched down. In Utah to go see Charlie at the hospital. Instead of racing to the hospital, you wait 2 hours for Andrew's plane to land. Your husband just got shot and you're like, I'm gonna wait 2 hours until your plane lands, and then we're gonna fall into each other's arms and we're gonna cry, and then when we get to the hospital, okay, you go that way and then I'm gonna go through the front. Because they said the dude with the hair and the black shirt been going to each hospital trying to figure out where Charlie is. We still got to go figure out who that random dude is now, because he made it to the police scanner. We had started that last night with Niecy and Barron. I'm like, I got something going on for me.
Because he was doing the Miles Romania too.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we got to figure out, if you guys don't mind, I know this is I know they're just carrying on Charlie's legacy, and everybody grieves differently, and it might not be the time to ask. But I'd really like to know what model agency that Romanian parliament member was working with, that Tyler had a fun night out with. I think it's a good place to pause before we bring Erica to Romania. That'll be in tomorrow's episode. We're going to take a brief break, and I'm going to give you an interesting update about her uncle, Rick. All right, you guys, there is something pretty big that Americans keep forgetting. Behind the news cycles, tariff wars, and conflicts, there is an uncomfortable truth that we all have to admit. We now have nearly $39 trillion in debt. It's a ticking time bomb that could decimate our economy. So I want you to ask yourself, am I truly protected from this pending disaster? If not, you should reach out to my partners over at Goldco. Goldco is the #1 gold and silver company in the business. Thousands of Americans are using Goldco to hedge their risk. So get your free 2026 gold and silver guide today and learn how you could get 10% in bonus gold or silver while supplies last. Head to CandiceLikesGold.com for details. Again, that is CandiceLikesGold.com. Also, I'm going to tell you about Nimi Skincare because it's the only skincare brand that I have stayed consistent with. It's what I use, it's what I trust, and it is what my routine is.
There's somebody. I just can't. Let me just go see anyway. I'm nosy. Who that is making that noise? Let me just check. If you're hearing things. I got that green screen on. I can get up now. Just let her finish. Put her on mute.
A lot of people are starting to look for more natural skincare options, especially ingredients like tallow. But not all tallow products are the same, and some can feel heavy, greasy, or just sit on your skin without helping it. That's what makes Nimi's Sunshine Tallow Cream and Buzzin' Tallow Balm different, is that the tallow closely mirrors your skin's natural lipids. That means it absorbs more effectively and supports your skin barrier instead of just coating your skin. Nimi pairs this ancestral ingredient with clean, modern formulation standards and purposeful botanicals so your skin feels nourished, protected, and comfortable, not weighed down. If you've been on the fence, this is your sign to stop guessing and start with a routine that makes sense. Visit Nimi at NimiSkincare.com and use code Candace10 at checkout for 10% off your order. That's NimiSkincare.com and use my code Candace10 for 10% off your order. Also want to tell you guys about Balance of Nature, because what if the reason you feel off some days has to do with what's missing from your nutrition between work, and everything in between, it's not always easy to get enough fruits and veggies. Balance of Nature makes it simple. Real whole food ingredients in an easy daily routine. When you eat whole foods, you take in their phytonutrients, the natural compounds that your body uses to adjust, repair, and respond every single day. Balance of Nature takes produce through a tailored vacuum cold process that stabilizes its phytonutrition. If you have been thinking about giving them a try, a great place to start is with their Whole Health System bundle that includes their fruits and veggies and their fiber and spice supplements, which gives you 47 ingredients of whole food. Visit balanceofnature.com to subscribe and save today. You can join hundreds of thousands of customers in one simple routine that's changing the world. Again, that's balanceofnature.com. I just have to know what Tyler was doing in Romania. Right? Don't you guys just want to know what he was doing? I'm dying to know. It's like the one piece of her life Erica can't remember is how she met Tyler Boyer. It's crazy. And the person that introduced her husband. I feel like you and Lori and Tyler go back. Like way back, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you guys have known each other for like since at least 2010. If I'm being honest. I think you knew the Farnsworth and I think you knew the Boyers. That's I'd actually go back further. I think you guys maybe even knew each other since Afghanistan. But I'm gonna wait until tomorrow to introduce that. How you guys maybe even could have known each other. I mean, just dancing around each other there in Arizona, all getting involved in the same stuff, charter schools, and then you and Tyler are gonna graduate in the same year. It's all so crazy. I need to know. Tell me. What happens? What happened with Turning Point USA? Just got lucky, we're on pilgrimage, I guess, and there Charlie was at the airport in Israel. You saw him. Your mom said, go up to him. She's a pusher, right? Lori's a pusher. I always thought it was so strange how you never mentioned that I was at the airport with Charlie. Just thought that was so weird. You never said that. Yeah, I saw Charlie with Candace because we were actually together for that trip. So interesting. Anyways, it's a tangled web that we weave, Erica. Fun little update for you guys on Uncle Rick. I would argue that he's a fraud. Actually, I wouldn't argue it. It's not my opinion. That was the bar's opinion. Remember, I told you he lost his legal license in 2009, and I wasn't sure what or why or how. I did know that his father, Tony, had bestowed upon him some of that money. But he was like, look, I don't know how this happened or how it got here. Well, it's a very detailed article about how he lost his license, and I'd like to share that information with you. We learned the reason. Rick is the movement that is mentioned throughout this article. I'm just going to clear this up for you. The first reason that his legal license was removed is because he didn't pay his dues. Okay, my best guess is the reason he stopped paying his dues in Kentucky was that he was hoping that they would stop their investigation into him. But they didn't. We learned that in 2007, they then opened an investigation into him for the following reasons. Reason number one is because while employed by the Bank of Corbin to perform title searches on certain properties, Rick didn't inform the bank that other mortgages already existed on those properties. So they were issuing loans to multiple people for the same property. Right? This means a failure to disclose this information resulted in the Bank of Corbin issuing loans on 4 of the properties that were already encumbered by pre-existing mortgages.
Wow.
Banks just loans, and it's going to this one property. Just so you guys are clear, this is exactly what led to the financial crisis. You ever seen the movie The Big Short? This is what happened. Okay? We continue. The second reason is that Bill transferred 50% of the stock that he owned in B&G Holdings LLC. And that's Bill, his brother, the one who goes to prison for years. Well, we learned that Bill transferred 50% of that stock to an LLC called Bill Erpenbeck Children LLC. And Rick managed that LLC. So Rick's brother, Bill, made the transfer. This goes on without any consideration. And while Rick was indebted to several leading institutions because he stole money from people. And then that went to... went to an LLC controlled by his brother, Rick. And by the way, while they were going through bankruptcy court, trying to find money, you know how this happens after they steal from middle-class people and poor people, and then they go, well, where's the money? And people lose their homes. Well, then these people go into bankruptcy court, and Bill's like, I don't know where the money is. Well, actually, in this case, the money was in an LLC controlled by Rick. So that's what happened. Rick ended up not only with Tony's money, but he also ended up with a good portion of Bill's money as well. Cool. Thirdly, Rick prepared a deed transferring property to a woman named Anita Andrews, but apparently he did not record that deed with the county, and the deed wasn't actually signed by Anita Andrews. That's weird. And he then quickly transferred that same property to his mother and father. So this kind of feels like this is deed fraud. There's some sort of fraud going on with property. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling really weird about the fact that he's the witness on these crazy divorce docs. I'm feeling weird. Vibes are not vibing. Ultimately, Rick was found guilty. That's why he had his license suspended, but only within the state of Kentucky in August of 2009. But, and here is the kicker, they found that his actions did not rise to the level of criminality, just professional negligence. It's amazing. It is amazing what wealthy people, what wealthy criminals get away with, right? So could you just imagine the people whose entire lives got ruined because they believed in this company, they gave their money, they're doing mortgage, whatever it is, and then banks are going under, their entire life savings have been depleted, and we just look at the characters involved, and he's like working at Universal. Doing more LLCs with Lori. Lori's working with the government. Like I said, there's no bar to entry. when you're with the gang, you know what I mean? People that are running things, doesn't matter. They write the laws. They'll read the laws if they want to read the laws. And this was professionally not okay. He committed no crimes here. He just was negligent professionally. But let you get too many parking tickets, you go to jail. Let you speed, if you're just speeding a little bit too quick on the freeway, right? Straight to jail. Never get your life back. Oh, you got a record now. You were smoking a joint. You got a record. Hunter Biden, you're smoking crack down the freeway. Recording yourself. You hand in your own laptop.
Right.
It's like, no, I'm like, you know what? We flying high. We can do whatever we want, okay?
Technically, he didn't. I think what Hunter said was he had, what he said? He pawned it or something like that. That Hunter is. I just said his name. I'm like, where is Hunter? We need Hunter. He ain't did no interview recently.
He's never going to see a day in prison. Just want to let you know, these are the people that roll over us. Anyways, enjoy your time at Universal Studios. In other news, Blake Neff is obviously demented. I don't know what's wrong with this person. I don't know if he might be Jewish. I don't even know. Because like, I hope he's Jewish. I hope he's Jewish. Or I don't know what's going on here. If this is just like a social disorder, whatever it is. They're obviously watching every minute of the series, and despite everything that we have presented, despite the questions that we sent them ahead of the series that were then forwarded to a lawyer for no reason, I had my producer Ashley said questions, and they were like forwarded to a lawyer, and the lawyer writes back all snippy. But we'd like to know the answers to some of these questions. We're saying a lot here, right? Possible gang ties, we don't know. In the past, obviously, Vince Lombardi, is that her grandpa? I don't know. Is that Lori's mother? Is Lori even Erica's mother? Erica's weird little Tesseract school, fraud following Lori, money disappearing everywhere they go. But there was only one thing that Blake Neff could not bear. He couldn't bear it. He put his foot down last night, and he issued a full-throated statement. He did not care. He came for me hard because no one comes for Shabbat Shalom. No one comes for Erica Shabbat Shalom. Remember yesterday I was joking about Shabbat Shalom, Daddy's home, throw down the phone. Look at what Turning Point, what Blake actually authored. This is not a joke, okay? He could not bear me ridiculing Erica over Shabbat Shalom. This is what he wrote on X. I have avoided commenting on most of what Candace Owens' claims are the past few months. However, her last episode contained such a blatant untruth about Charlie's daily life that I feel compelled to correct it. In this episode, Candace Owens aggressively ridicules Erica for using the phrase Shabbat Shalom and suggests that Charlie's last book, Stop in the Name of God, about the value of observing the Sabbath is a fabrication to make Charlie appear more pro-Jewish and pro-Israel than he really was. It is very revealing that Candace would fixate on this, as it immediately reveals unfamiliarity with Charlie's behavior for the entire period that I knew him. Charlie was observing his evangelical Christian version of Shabbat. Like, I can't even read something. It's absurd. You can come out of that because it is just...
So the entire time I worked under him as a Catholic who sees Sunday as the Christian Sabbath, I would tease Charlie about this. Even in early 2023, shortly after I joined the show, he was signing off his Friday shows with Shabbat Shalom.
Absurd. It is so absurd. I can't even believe that he's authoring this. First off, Blake, I can show you text messages that turning your phone off on Saturday, I was doing first and telling Charlie he should do. Before anybody, as soon as I met George, that became a thing. I'm aware he turned his phone off on Saturdays. Okay? That's been going on. I did it first. Okay? I've been watching this whole story spun. And what we're making fun of is that being the first thing that you hit on tour. The idea that he finished this book, that this was his legacy. It's pretty obvious here that you guys were trying to make us just remind us of how much Charlie loves Israel. I mean, Bibi Netanyahu came out within 48 hours to remind us of how much Charlie loved Israel. We're aware of the PSYOP, and it failed. But that this would be the thing that you broke your silence on, like, everything Candace is saying, how dare she discount the fact that Charlie, I just want to be clear, Charlie loved dreidel. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. He made it out of clay. He'd spin it, he'd play. He loved latkes. Enough is enough. They're delicious, they're crunchy, and they're salty. And we will not stand for Candace to say this. I'm sorry, Blake. I'd like to apologize. Shabbat shalom. Daddy's home. He threw in his phone. Glad we cleared that up. Charlie's phone was off on Saturdays. Bro was like a rapper, sliding in like Usher. Daddy's home. Shabbat shalom.
If you want to have a job in the next 5 years, these are the AI rules you need to know.
You know?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Erica. I'm sorry, Blake. We'll never do this again. We'll be back after a quick break. All right, you guys, if you are trying to get healthier, sleep better, or finally lose those stubborn pounds, your gut's health might be the key that you've been missing. The Just Thrive Gut Essentials Bundle gives your body the support that it needs to reset, rebalance, and get your body working with you and not against you. It starts with Just Thrive Probiotic, clinically proven to have 1,000 times better survivability than leading brands. It arrives in your gut alive, where it helps support smoother digestion, stronger immunity, balanced mood, deeper sleep, and a healthier metabolism. Then add in the magic of Just Thrive Digestive Bitters. These combine 12 traditional bitter herbs that stimulate your digestion the way nature intended. They help reduce that heavy, bloated feeling, improve nutrient absorption, and support healthy blood sugar. Just Thrive has been helping thousands of people take control of their health with science-backed solutions that you can trust, from their award-winning probiotic to their full line of gut, immune, and brain health supplements. If you're ready to feel a difference that you can actually notice, like I do when I take Just Thrive, then take the Just Thrive Gut Health Challenge today. Save 20% on your first order. Visit justthrivehealth.com/Candace and use promo code Candace at checkout. Again, that's justthrivehealth.com/Candace. Promo code Candace at checkout. I also want to tell you guys about the Purge store, because if you think parasites are just a third world problem, you should think again. Recent data suggests 60 million Americans are currently infected with some type of parasite. These parasites don't just live in your gut, they manipulate your mind. They cause cancers and release neurotoxins that trigger unexplained anxiety, debilitating fatigue, and chronic brain fog. They hijack your hormones to make you crave sugar and other processed foods. So if you are exhausted, bloated, or just maybe feel off, you more than likely suffer from some kind of parasitic infection. This is why the Advanced Parasite Cleanse was created by Purge. It's a non-pharmaceutical, all-natural, organic cleanse, which is gentle enough for you to take every day, but powerful enough to purge your body of these invaders that we encounter on a daily basis. This is not a gentle detox, it's a tactical strike designed to hunt and flush these invaders out. So head to purgestore.com/Candace and use code Candace at checkout for 15% off your entire order. When you subscribe to Purge Parasite Cleanse today, you'll get a free bottle of ToxyBinder. The free bottle of ToxyBinder will help you cleanse your bloodstream of heavy metals and the waste that these parasites leave behind. It's the ultimate power combo. That's purgestore.com/Candace and use code Candace at checkout for 15% off your entire order. Also going to tell you guys about American Financing, because between groceries, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you are already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you should know that
I need to go back there and shift him real quick. Hold on, let me go and give him a little shift. You know, fluff the covers out a little bit, let them turn over or something, so we don't get stuck in one position, child. Ooh. Doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good. What's the 74%? 44%. Not bad. Okay. Let's continue.
Alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to American Financing, but maybe hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. Well, that's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan. It's a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up your cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out if you qualify, so call 800-795-1210. Again, that's 800-795-1210, or visit americanfinancing.net/Owens. Again, that's americanfinancing.net/Owens. Just to be clear, I do love latkes. They are delicious. They're very, very good, and they are salty. So there's that. We can meet in the middle, Blake. You better be Jewish. If I find out you're not Jewish, you're in so much trouble. Anyway, top comments from yesterday's episode. Angus writes, imagine if Candace died and a week later there was a stranger sitting in her chair telling us she never believed Brigitte was a man and she loved Israel. That's what happened to Charlie. So well said. It's just upside down land. It's just so crazy. I'm like, did they even like him? Forget love Charlie. Did they even like him? Was he really just a means to an end? I'm wondering. Blame It on a Black Star writes, I wonder if Erica is learning new things about herself from this series. I think Erica hits reset every morning.
It was nothing special. It was just a little get-together. It was under control. It was the clock. It was the flowers in the vase. That one. It was the pillows, perfectly fluffed. It was the rug, good as new. It was the baseboards. Had they ever been cleaned? It was the rush. It was the fuss. It was them telling her she did way too much.
It was nothing.
I don't even know what that was. Oh, okay. She ain't got me all caught up.
Give me a minute and you'll stop using liquid laundry detergent forever. Have you ever wondered why your laundry detergent's always that weird blue or...
I think the Erica yesterday is not the Erica today and will not be the same Erica as tomorrow. There's something about, she's just on autopilot. Anyway, reminding you guys, if you want to support us, buy something on the website, you can just go to KSOWens.com. Get great merch. It's, that's the easiest way to support us in independent journalism. Okay, getting into some of your comments from today's episode. Fasted Rights, Day of Prayer for the Epstein victims is set for July 4th. Father in heaven, bless these victims. They are scared, silenced, and alone. We will declare our independence from these evil monsters running our world. In Jesus' name, please, amen. Christ is King. Yes, pray. It means something, guys. I am telling you, you can feel it. The energy is shifting. There's an awareness like there has never been an awareness before. We couldn't even discuss these topics. The probability of these sort of dynamics happening globally. If it was a few years ago, you would sound like you were a crazy person. And we're now able to discuss these prospects because people are pursuing independent voices and people are considering how we got here. I would also really like to say, as I have said many times before, get your kids out of school. If you are able to do so, I just have had a very strong sense that you need to pull your kids out of public schools. There's just a lot of bad stuff happening right now. I'll leave it at that. Rachel Janusek writes, it's my birthday. Also, I have two questions. Did Charlie date anyone else before Erica? I had alluded to the fact that Charlie did have one person that he was very, 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 very into before Erica. And that's why it was LOL hilarious when Turning Point PR tried to push out this narrative like Candace and Charlie were a thing. I was so his wing woman, you have no idea. I actually became very close with that young lady because I felt like it was just me texting her all the time because Charlie would ask me, what should I text? What should I say or whatever. Charlie really was like a kid brother to me. So the answer to that question is yes, one person. But yeah, then you met Erica. That's the answer. The second question that you have, also happy birthday, Rachel. I didn't say happy birthday. Do you know if Erica still has her kids? I saw some posts about Charlie's parents taking them. Thank you, Candace. You are amazing. There's no truth to that. Erica definitively still has her kids. UT Graham Shar writes, thank you, Candace, for simply being you. We are very thankful for your courage, your faith, and your drive to find the truth in all things, to continually ask questions. Anyone who has attacked you for doing what Charlie would say to do owes you an apology. Go, Max. I will not hold my breath for an apology. I'm not even interested in an apology. I just want to get to the truth, and we're getting closer to the truth. And getting into Romania and bringing these pieces together and establishing the characters and the narrative was all just sort of necessary steps that we had to take. Tremendous thank you to our little team in there who, trust me, we've been working hard. Everybody has been working really hard, researching and fact-checking and also enduring a lot of emails on top of everything. So, and also thank you to everybody out there as we get closer to being finished with this series. It was only supposed to be 3 episodes, but because they posted Savannah's baby, I was like, oh no, you're getting a whole extra week. You don't post infants on the internet. You just don't post infants on the internet. And then I added another episode because somebody called Skylar and left a message. So this is how I play. We can go a whole year. I can do a whole year. Brigitte got a season 2 because she sued me.
And we waiting for it. That's what they don't understand. Charlie Kirk got assassinated and season 2 was like, she got dust on her. Put it on the website or something. My God.
It's supposed to just be an episode.
See what I mean?
And then she sent me a threat.
Yeah.
And she got a season.
Yeah.
And then she sent me a lawsuit and she got a second
She got a season
So,
too. That's what I'm saying.
you know, that's where I'm at right now.
Right.
Gracie Lou writes, I would be so blessed to have...
waiting on that season 2. I might have to watch season 1 just to like, and you know, she'll have like a refresher. But still, it's like, we don't even know if we going to.
You that said, how did Erica Kirk scam a genius like Charlie? The more I hear her past interviews, the dumber she sounds. I don't get it, shaking my head. This stuff with men and women is biblical. You go to Genesis. I mean, this is not about an IQ of people saying, Charlie was a genius. How could he hire people around him? IQ and EQ are totally different things. And on the topic of women, Charlie wasn't a genius. He just wasn't a genius on the topic of women. Don't be ridiculous. And you grow to trust people. People forget how young Charlie was. So even in terms of who was around him, you make mistakes. We are all human. It doesn't matter how genius you are. Interpersonal relationships, that's an entirely different dynamic. I have been friends with people and those friendships have fallen apart. I would say I have a pretty high...
Let me just let her finish because people just don't understand how interpersonal relationships work. People just have no idea. And then when you get older, because remember, she said that she spoke on that. People forget how young Charlie was. That's when you want to make your mistakes with those interpersonal relationships. Because let me tell you something, you get on up there in 30, 40, you don't have time either for interpersonal relationships, or you don't have time to be making mistakes with interpersonal relationships. I'm just saying. So you look, figure it out and get there quick. Figure it out and get there extremely quick. Because like she said, intelligence, IQ and emotional intelligence,
I have a high EQ, definitively, and sometimes you get it wrong. This is all normal stuff. And so I think people keep going, oh, he was so brilliant. And then he sees a girl and things change and you're no longer thinking clearly and emotions get into the mix.
We've all got these eyes that you kind of get all, you know, and then she got a little whip appeal about her. She's only dated studs, not them kind of studs, but I'm talking about studs, jocks. And so then, now you have to pivot. Charlie isn't one of those, but at the same time, he is one of those, just in a different league. So
before we have all been there before. So I do think Well, I know for a fact he didn't know a lot of these things about Erica because I was there. And I'm finding this stuff out. He definitively did not know. He thought it was all organic. And I have my questions about that. Tyler Boyer. He's an important guy. Tyler Boyer.
Considering it, because then now we have to figure out, how did Tyler Boyer meet Charlie? If Tyler was the one who introduced Erica to Charlie, then that means now we got to figure out, how did Tyler meet Charlie?
Drinking in Romania, enjoying the models, the ladies. Who was the person in Romanian parliament that he went out to see? How does that happen? Tyler was in college. Who set that up? Well, could it have been a Farnsworth? You're close with that family, aren't you? They were in office. I'll keep digging, see what we come up with. Sarah Phillips writes, can someone please tell me why the LLCs and charities by Erica and her mom sound exactly like the fraud that Doge and Elon uncovered in the government? It'd be great if Elon could go ahead and finish that Doge for Charlie. I'd like that Doge to be finished. I'd like to know what it was that Charlie was concerned about 7 days before that we're supposed to believe he just did for funsies. It's not the story that I've been told by people that are more intimately involved with Turning Point USA. And since nothing they say is true, I am under no illusions when it comes to the people that are in charge now, Erica among them. Danny writes, they all act in bad faith. Literally, that is correct. So I just wanted to show you that. I've been saying for a while about that is not even, if you thought that message revealed him, you don't know Tyler Boyer. And that is the first thing that registered to me as suspicious, is Erica is keeping people that I know are corrupt, that I know are liars, that I know are sexual deviants. So what's actually driving that? And I think the answer is prior existing relationships, military relationships. Actually, that's the story that I'm telling. And I think tomorrow you will see even more how plausible that is, how plausible it is. They all kind of knew each other before and then surrounded Charlie like a November Renaissance. We'll leave it at that, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
This is just exhausting. It really is. Sammy talking about the war. Oh my goodness. Clinton responds, Oh, let me give myself a thumbs up real quick while I'm here. Let me give myself a thumbs up. Let me give myself a thumbs up while I'm here. I'm finna get on up out of here. I'll be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. Because if I get to scrolling, let me see what she did. She better not have no music. Child, that Krishan looks so good. Child, that Krishan, no, she look good. She been working out, honey. She been detoxing negative energy. And when I tell you, it doesn't get no better than that. It absolutely doesn't get no better than that. He made a song with Poison. Oh my God. I gotta go hear it. Hold on. I ain't even got my headphones. I left them in the bed. Oh, I gotta hear that, honey. I got to hear that. Oh my goodness. Okay. But in the meantime, in between time. Okay,